What's up, boys? It's your boy, Soy Boy Moi Toy, coming at you with another Rocket League tutorial video. And before we get into the ceiling shot tutorial, I just want to let you guys know I'm doing a giveaway for the dissolver I pulled on the crate opening. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned to the end of the video, and then yeah, I'll give it away. Now let's just jump into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is there are two types of ceiling shots. The first one is the jumping ceiling shot. It's where you jump to the ceiling to save time. Usually you want to do this to get to the ball faster when it's a lower ball, which I'll get into more details how to actually distinguish the two in a little bit more into the video. And then the second one is where you ride up the wall. So you hit the ball, you ride up the wall to the ceiling, and then you hover down. This one is... I'll get into more details about the two after. So now that we distinguished the two types of ceiling shots there are, we're going to go to training packs to kind of decipher which ones, how to use which ones properly and when. So if you go to browse, I'll put them all in the description, all the packs I use, but this one is my favorite, called Dribbles by Apache. I'll put the code in the description, but yeah. This is the best way, this is the best one for setting your own ceiling shots up and for distinguishing which shots to use. So this is the one that you're going to want to use the jumping ceiling shot for. So you want to go like this, you want to jump up to the ceiling, not be bad like I am, and then do that, kind of, but a little better. Okay, so step number 2 is the setup. The setup is by far the most important thing of this tutorial, and everything in Rocket League, honestly. You want to set yourself up so perfectly that you really can't mess it up. So that wasn't a great setup. So the best setup to do is kind of visualize hitting the ball outwards towards the net, if that makes sense. Here, let me try to do it real quick. So you're going to want to do this. You want to hit it as high to the ceiling as possible, but try to aim towards the net. So that one was decent, but it took me a minute to get off the wall. If you mess up a lot, you're going to want to distinguish if it's worth going for a ceiling shot, because the setup, again, is the most important. So that was a good setup right there. And then boop. Just like that. See, when it's a good setup, it's really easy to actually do the ceiling shots correctly. Granted, that was a little slow. People could have probably saved that, but you get the idea. So, work on the setup. Lob it towards the net as best as you can, like that. And then boom. Easy as that. It's quite simple, actually. Once you get the mechanics down and the hang of it, it becomes quite easy. You can kind of do it reliably. So the shot wasn't the greatest, but again, if it's a ceiling shot, it's kind of hard to save anyway, as long as they're not going up for it. And yeah. So just, again, work on the setup. And, oh my god. Just work on the setup. That's all that matters. Don't even, like, really go for a shot. Just work on the setup. Boom. See, look at that. It wasn't even a great setup. I just kind of made it work there. So, that was the jumping one, right? You're going to want to, and with the jumping one, you have quite a bit of hang time, which is nice. That's what I really like about the jumping one first, is you can jump up, you can kind of just chill out for a minute, and then boom. Easy as that. That's my, preferably I do like the jumping one more, but there is a place for the wall riding one as well. And again, the jumping one is harder and harder to save. It's harder to do, but harder to save as well. Because if people jump fast for it, it's, again, if you're going faster than them, they can't really do anything about it. Okay, also another big tip, which I kind of forgot to mention up until now, is when you're shooting the ball, you want to get under the ball. So, here, let me give you an example here. So I got this set up there. See how I'm under the ball right now? And then boom. Again, see, if it was a shot like that, I would have to wait for it to go lower, and that also brings in the hang time, which I could have done a little bit longer of a hang time. Here we go. Here we go. Under the ball, boom. Easy. See how it added that extra lift, and that's how you do it. You have to do a little bit of hang time. You have to make judgment calls. when it's just low enough, and then you get that extra boop into an actual top part of the net. And that's the ideal ceiling shot. Those were for jumping ceiling shots, to practice those. But if you want to do wall riding ceiling shots, you're going to want to go to the Fluump, Air and Wall Dribbles, and then just do ceiling shots with those. So here, let me show you an example here. So let me get out of the way real quick of this one. There we go. And then the next one should be ceiling shots. So this one is a perfect example. You want to put it up and then ride off the wall and then go boom. So the difference between these ones are the placement of the ball when you're actually touching the ball. So what that means is when I was hitting the ball regularly, I would be hitting it right there, right? But see how this is rolling up more? You're going to want to, since it's rolling up higher up the wall, you have more time to go on the ceiling without getting punished by the defense, right? So what that means, these are obviously a lot easier to do just because you're not jumping towards the ball. You are actually just maneuvering towards the ball on the ceiling. Okay, so while doing a ceiling shot, think of, there should be about, see on the wall, think of like a halfway mark. See that like, see this thing right here? See this like line right there? Think of that as like a halfway point. If it's under this point while you're setting up the ceiling shot, you're going to want to jump up to the ceiling, right? But if it goes over or close to, you're going to want to go on the ceiling, like just ride the ceiling without jumping, if that makes sense. And that's how you distinguish the two ceiling shots to do it. And it all comes down to just pretty much the time you have. And granted, you can, if it is like this, you can also jump to the ceiling, and there's no really wrong way to do it. But if you have the time, and this also saves boost while you're doing this. If you have the time, it's hard to distinguish in-game, but if you have the time, take it. And if you don't have the time, jump to the ceiling. It's as easy as that. Well, it's actually a hard mechanic to learn, but still, it's kind of easy-ish. So I think that's all I got. Yeah, choose which, the list goes, the two types of ceiling shots to do. So the jumping to the ceiling or the wall riding, like this. And the second step is the setup, which we already talked about. The two types of setups between the walls and distinguishing which ceiling shot to take for the setup. So if it's under the line, that imaginary line we're talking about, if it's under that, you're going to want to do a jumping to the ceiling shot, and if it's over the line, you have time to actually ride up the wall to the ceiling and then fall down naturally. Number 3 was choosing which shot to take, which again falls under the setup by kind of, if you set yourself up perfectly, you're going to know which shot to take. But if it gets set up for you, you can also distinguish by using that imaginary line I was talking about to actually decide which ceiling shot you should go for. Number 4 is the hang time. So when you're actually in the ceiling shot, let me go back again. Okay, so the hang time has to do with both of them, and it's to decide how long you have to wait to actually take your shot. So for example, this is the hang time right here. Right, you have a certain amount of time you can utilize. So you can either go, and the hang time also matters on what shot you take. So if the hang time, you want to get under the ball, so you get the added power, or if you don't want to take a lot of hang time, you kind of just hit the ball immediately and hit it down, if that makes sense. How did I not get a flipper set? This game's trash. Okay, and then, so the hang time, we got that, and then another step, the last step is under the ball. Just hit it under the ball, flip towards it, get that added lift almost. You're going to want to just, boom, 105, and it's like fast towards the net. And that's about it. That's pretty much all you need to know about ceiling shots. It's kind of straightforward, but it is a hard mechanic to learn and master. But when you do, you can honestly, like the clips I showed at the beginning, you can use them in Grand Champ gameplay. Like that was Grand Champ gameplay that all those ceiling shots were in. So if you master it, you can essentially use it whenever you want, which is pretty nice. So if you guys made it to this point in the video, thank you. That's crazy. And now the real meat of the story, I guess. So what we're going to be doing for the giveaway is a Mr. Decal. What am I doing? Mr. Decal giveaway, the Dissolver that I pulled in the crate opening. Now, if you want a chance to winning this, again, it's only on the PC. I'm sorry, other consoles. I am sorry, but there's no multi-trading platform yet, and rip that. So, this is for PC only. The requirement is sub to the channel. That's it. I'll be giving it away after 1,000 subscribers. And the second point is to comment on this video. Now, the comment could be anything. It could be like, yo, Matt, you suck. And I'll be like, all right, sick, thanks. Or it could be like recommending a video topic. It could be saying, wow, this was lit, fam, swag. I don't care. It could be anything. All you have to do is be sub to the channel and comment on the video. And that's straight up it. And more, bye, more, bye. Is that everything? Bye, more, bye, 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 bye.